there are several different types of committees. So first we're going to talk about standing committees. There's two types of standing committees. There's substantive committees. These are the ones that look at bills and decide whether or not the bills will be advanced to everybody. They mark them up. They decide that this doesn't make any sense. We're not going to look at this anymore. That is called pigeonholing. The bill goes to a committee and never comes back out. It's never talked about. You will see that as you're looking on the website. You will see some bills that'll say introduced, assigned to the Transportation Committee, and then nothing. No hearing was ever set up. No vote was ever taken. They just throw it away, technically. That is called pigeonholing. Some of the committees have subcommittees so that they can break up the work and they can decide which bills actually should go to the full committee. So those are substantive committees. Procedural committees decide how things are going to work. They some examples of procedural committees: calendar committee, the rules committee. Calendar committee decides when different pieces of legislation will actually be discussed once they come out of committee. Rules committee decides whether or not bills can be amended from the floor or not. So they set the amount of time, the number of people that can debate the bill. They set the procedure. Those are standing committees. There's also joint committees. Joint committees are composed of senators and representatives, and they usually are appointed to look at a big issue that is going to affect a lot of people, so they get them together and start working on an issue. You also have ad hoc committees. As that sounds, these are put together to address a certain thing for a certain period of time. They are temporary, and the committee breaks up as soon as whatever they've been assigned to do ends. Select committees are also temporary. They are designed to address a particular purpose. Ad hoc committees are usually really quick. Select committees sometimes work on big issues that are going to take a little bit more time, but still, once they finish, then the committee is broken up. And then you have interim committees, and these interim are committees that serve in between legislative sessions. And there's, of course, a lot of time between legislative sessions. So they will get these committees together to study an issue that is going to come up before the next legislature. And so I can give you an example. We were having some issues in the TYC, the Texas Youth Commission, which is our prison system for youth. The issue was that there were several allegations of sexual abuse, and so there were we kept hearing reports in the state of Texas that the youth were being taken advantage of by staffers, and this had gotten to be, there were just several reports. So they decided that they were going to go and study the structure of the Texas Youth Commission and figure out how this kept happening. So they brought in people to testify. They did studies. They looked at books. They looked at the policies. And what they discovered was that when there were incidences, people were not fired. They were allowed to go to another facility. And so it was a handful of people, but they were just operating within the Texas Youth Commission. And so they made recommendations that um, you have to share information. If certain things, if they happen, you are out and you are not eligible for rehire. And so they restructured TYC and some of its policies based on the study that had been done by the interim committee. And when they came to the legislature, they made those recommendations. That's how an interim committee works.